So we are done with the next stage, and we actually took it a stage after as well. So as you can see, it is now primed white. So that's not the paint color that we're using, but that's primer that will make painting a lot easier. And what we just did is we used...
Sorry for the stupid drop-offs.
Is we used this power sander to just sand all on the top of it to make sure that there's no leftover lacquer or imperfections that need to be sanded out. So I just have this cloth now that kind of wipe all the sawdust off and check it out and see how it did. Alright, well, you can see that it's taken off a lot. We'll probably sand it a few more times. Make sure that all of this stuff looks like it's getting out. Because anything splotchy that you kind of see...
That you're going to see that in the stain.
You're going to be able to see that in the stain. So like here and in here, it seems kind of splotchy. So we're just going to keep sanding that until it's nice and smooth. So we got this all sanded. It's all good, ready to be stained. But before we stain it, we are applying pre-stain to make sure that this softwood, especially on the outside, doesn't get blotchy when you put the stain on. And just to make sure on the top as well, it's going to be an even stain, and you can ensure that by using pre-stain. So we'll apply it with this little foam pad, and then wipe it off with after about 5 to 15 minutes with a dry cloth just to get the excess off, and then wait for maybe an hour or so, and then start staining. So that's what we're doing next. So it is Tuesday now, which is the day after the last time we recorded, and I have done 2 coats of stain on the top of the cabinet, what's it called, dresser thing so far. And as you can tell, the border around here is a brown color, and this part is a darker red color, which is kind of weird. Obviously it implies they're 2 very different pieces of wood, and I'm not even sure what kind of wood this is because I didn't think it would be so red, but what we're doing now is adding a 3rd layer of stain to make it just as dark as possible to try and make this a little bit less red than it is right now. But first, I'm going to use the tack cloth on top of it to make sure there's nothing. It's sitting outside, so I'm going to make sure there's nothing on the top of it that will get in the way of the stain. Staining, we are ready for the next step. We moved it from outside into the bedroom again because all of the next steps can be done indoors, so we're not going to be working with really harsh chemicals. So I've already stained the top of this, and that is all ready to go. Now what I'm doing is putting polyacrylic on the top, and I've already done 1 layer of polyacrylic. The first step that you always do after putting 1 layer of polyacrylic on, or any layer, any amount of layers, is sand it down. So if you look in the light, you can see slight brush strokes and some parts that aren't 100% even, and you want to make sure that it's completely flat and completely flawless the more layers you put on, because you want it to be very smooth after your 4th or 5th layer. Okay, so as you can see, this kind of all turns gray, and it kind of looks scary because you don't know if that's going to stay there and it's going to completely mess up your stain color. But let me just use the tack cloth on it real quick, and I'll show you that most all of it, even just simply doing that, changes it back to the original color. But some other spots like this, I just go over it once and you can still see the gray, so you kind of have to work at it a little bit more to make sure that you're picking up everything. And you're going to want to make sure that you get every visible piece of dust that you can see, because you don't want any of that to be trapped under the next layer of polyacrylic that you do. So don't skimp on this step here. Make sure that it's all wiped down and you can't see any more of that dust. And then once you do that, you're ready for the next layer. Okay, so the next layer is on. I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 more coats, and then in between each coat you have to wait 2 hours, and then just repeat the steps that I did: sand, tack cloth, and then put on another layer. Once you get the desired shine that you want, you can stop putting coats on. And then the next step after that is you can just go to the rest of it and paint it. That's what we're going to do next. Is once this is completely done the top, we're going to go to the painting stage for the bottom, and we're going to figure out what we're doing with these spaces and what we're doing with this front to finish it off, put the finishing touches on it. And so we'll see how it looks in the next video. See ya!